Hello and welcome to this video. So today I am going back into some books that I found in my game and book closet, which I do have a really big games and book closet, and I did take a picture of it so you guys will see that. And then once you guys kind of see what I found in the book closet, in the game closet as well, you guys will learn something new today, because I am going to be reading some stuff so that I learned something new today, and hopefully you will too. So the first couple of books that I want to show you guys is some books for me to learn for like school and college, because in college right now I am taking my associate's degree in college, which is only 2 years, and I go to College of Lake County. But I had no idea that you can get your bachelor's degree and you can also get your master's degree. But I learned that people with special needs really can't take those kinds of like stuff, and stuff is like your master's and your bachelor's. Like some people say, like, you know, it's too hard, you have to take all these like really hard classes and it may not be easy, so you may not be able to do that. But this is what I tell myself: I might have Down syndrome, but that would not stop me from learning. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take every day step by step and teach myself the things that I need to learn and teach myself. So someday, if something cool happens in my life, like maybe I might get my bachelor's degree, you know, you never know what will happen in your future, but I am going to teach myself everything that I need to learn. And even though it may happen in a couple of years, I still want to learn right now, because I love learning something new every day. I just love it. So first off, I got this Math and Word Power 2000. It is filled with puzzles, games, and exercises that will boost your students with math and language skills, and it is a handy teacher resource to help make learning fun. So there's lots of math problems and language and different things like that, and then I will learn and become smart by reading this book. This book has lots of answers in it, but I'm not just going to rely on the answers. I'm actually going to read and try to figure out, so that I know how it's done and how the math problems are. Make sure I read everything I need to read before I actually read the answers, because then if I just rely on the answers, then, you know, basically just reading the answers will basically it's called cheating, which I would not cheat, but I would make sure I know what I'm learning before I actually read the answers. Because once I read the answer, but first I would, you know, kind of learn and get to know like what I'm learning. And I would do that first before I read the answer, so that I know exactly what I'm learning, instead of just looking at the answer and be like, oh, look, I found the answer. You know, that may not help you a lot. Because first off, like I said, you know, cheating doesn't always help you all the time, because, you know, that's just how it is. But there is some mathematical ability, and strategies and practices for a big test. And I'll just read a few of the different tests that are in this book. So the SAT, the ACT test, the ASVAB, the GMAT, the GRE, GRE, the CB, it's called the CBEST, the Practices 1, and the GED, which are big tests, which I don't know if I would ever take those type of tests, but this book will stay in handy, so I can just learn from what I'm reading and figure out how that is done. So that's how I'm going to do that. Right now, I am now reading about history, and then I'm going to answer 2 questions, and then after that, that would be it for the video. So super quickly, basically, I want to learn more about history, because once I take some classes in college and get to know history like a little bit more, then I feel like it will help me for later on, for when I happen, or if I do take a history class, I just know how to help myself and figure out, how history is done, because first off, history is interesting and fascinating and just fun to learn. So, like I said, if I take like a history class someday, then I'll just kind of know before I actually get into doing history homework and history lessons and that kind of stuff. So right now, very quickly, what were the most significant human achievements before the rise of architecture? This is what I found. The greatest achievement of the political people was the sheer spread of human species over much of the Earth's surface. The species originated in eastern Africa. Most of the earliest types of human remains come from the region. Yeah, that's something different, but yeah, that is the answer to that. And then also, let's see here. Thus, the human species came to develop systems of belief that help explain the environment and set up rules for various kinds of social behavior. The development of speech provided rich language and symbols for the transmission of culture and its growing sophistication. At the same time, different groups of humans in different locations developed quite varied belief systems and languages. So that is that. The next question was, how did architecture change human life? So how did it change human life? Oh, okay, here we go. Various hunting and gathering groups. Wait, no, actually, never mind about that. Let's see here really quickly. Okay, this is where I found it. Architecture sets the basis for more rapid change in human societies. Greater wealth and larger populations freed some people for other specializations from which new ideas or techniques might spring. Architecture itself depended on control over nature that could be facilitated by newly developed techniques and objects. For an example, during the Neolithic period itself, the needs of farming people for storage facilities for grains and seeds promoted the development of basket making and pottery. The first potter's wheel came into existence around 6000 BCE, and this in turn encouraged faster and higher quality pottery production. Architectural needs also encouraged certain kinds of science supporting the human inclination to learn more about weather and flooding. And then also, let's see here. All architectural societies, for an example, invented some kind of week. Let's see here. Architectural weeks varied from 4 days to 9, and this is a big difference. But all architectural societies had something that marked an interruption in normal work. Usually this interruption had or developed religious significance. Architectural societies always emphasize the superiority of men over women in what is called the patriarchal system, something like that. Architecture encouraged the formation of larger as well as more stable human communities that had existed before the Neolithic times. So yeah, there is a lot of things about architectural things. So yeah, and then there's chapter 2. Okay, where did I read? Oh yeah, how did it change the human life? Yeah, I already read that. So that is some facts that I just read, and I will continue to read more. And then if I find more information, then I'll let you guys know. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I have definitely learned a lot from reading and answering questions, because this is a big thing when it comes to school and college and lessons and all the things that I will learn hopefully someday. You know, it's important that you read and you know your facts, then it will help you to answer the questions correctly. So first you read the question, and then you can reread what you read, and then you find your answers. And then once you find your answers, and then you write it down, and there you go, you have what you found. That is your answer. So it's all about rereading, going back, making sure that you know what you read about, and then that's how you get an A+ when you're taking tests and that kind of stuff. So that's how you do it. So the more I read, the more I will learn, and then I'll become super smart and sophisticated, like I said when I started reading about sophistication, because you know that's how I do. I am sophistication. So stay awesome and have an awesome day today, and peace out. What is up, everyone? So me and my brother and my sister, we all took all of the books out of the bookshelf, and we have like a giant bookshelf. So we cleaned out all the books, and then we dusted, and we made sure that we got all the dust from behind the shelf or the case of where all the books are. So we dusted that, and then we had to put all the books and all the games back into the closet, because that's like our closet of games and books, and because it's so big, there's so many books. But once we were putting books back and games back as well, I found some books that I'm going to keep. So I just want to real quickly show you guys something before I have to go do one other thing. So I got this book. It's called Love, Aubrey. And I just love this book because it has my name in it, and it's a really good book. So I'll just read a tiny bit. A tragic accident had turned 11-year-old Aubrey's world upside down. Starting a new life all alone, Aubrey has everything she thinks she needs: SpaghettiOs and Sammy, her pet fish. She cannot talk about what happened to her. Writing letters is the only thing she feels right to do. Aubrey, even no one ever reads them. It says, with the aid of her loving grandmother and new friends, Aubrey learns that she is not alone. So, I'll be down in a second.
What?
I will in a second. So, as I'm filming, my brother came in, and I had to go help him with something, so that's why he came in here for a quick second. So, back to what I was saying. So, yeah, this girl named Aubrey, she thinks her life is turned upside down, but I can't wait to see what the ending will say about how she turns it around to have like a better life for herself. So I am so excited to read this book, Love Aubrey. Then I got some like books for like school, I would say, or for college, whatever. Someday I want to take a few other classes that I would need to take if I want to get my bachelor's degree. So I was like, I need to find the right books. And these have to be like the right books. Okay, so if that makes sense to you guys. So I was like, okay, so let me read this. Math and Word Power 2000 is filled with puzzles, games, and exercises that will boost your students' math and language skills. It's a handy teacher resource to help make learning fun. So this is a really good book with math problems and language skills, and then it's a handy resource. So I will keep this in handy so I can read it, and hopefully by the end of this book I will be really smart. The next one is Math Review for Standardized Test, the second edition. This looks very complicated and a lot of stuff, but this is for targeted math review for many tests, including the SAT, the ACT, the ASVAB, the GMAT, GRE, CBEST, the Praxis 1, and the GED, which are like really big tests that like many people that don't have special needs, they can take these like really hard tests, and this is how they teach themselves, by just basic learning skills so that they can know how to get the answers right. But the other thing is that with these books, it's not about cheating. It's just about finding resources and finding what they need so that when they take the test, they know how to do the test, you know. So this is just a review. Like I said, nothing about cheating, just learning so that you can ace your next test. So that is what this book is. So hopefully if I take like a really hard math class, this would definitely help me a lot. So I can't wait to start reading this book. The next learning book is all about history, which would be another type of test or subject that people need to learn all about history. Because when you go to like college classes, some people go to like colleges that are like in different states and stuff, but like all over the US, one of the main subjects is history, and history is like really hard. So once I start learning about history, I would just know it and be like super smart and just remember the things that I read, and then that will help me so that someday if I take a history class, I would know how to do my history homework. If I have history someday for college, this would just help me so that I know my history and I know my facts, and I will learn all about these different things. Maybe in a different video I'll talk about that, but and then maybe I'll go through like the different chapters of this book. It's a binder full of history. So those are kind of like my learning books. And then I got Children Just Like Me, and basically this book is all about many people that live either in the US or the United Kingdom, or they live in like a different country or a different area of the world. And then basically, like when you're reading this book, you will learn about their culture and what their lives are like, and their hobbies and their interests and what they like to do, and their family life and what their families do for a living. And it's just super interesting. I'm just gonna read like one story that's like my favorite. So I learn about all different types of people from like different countries. Oh yeah, this one is Selena. She is 9 years old and she lives in the Amazon rainforest of Brazil in South America. And her father is the head of their village. And it looks like they live kind of on a farm, and they grow most of the food they need to sell what is left, and her father and brother also fish in the river, and they sometimes kill alligators so they can eat. because some people need to live. So this is probably what this family eats, I guess. I don't know. This is just what I'm learning. So I feel like I'm gonna learn a lot from this book, and the different types of people from different countries, different states, and where they came from, and their culture, and what they do for a living, and just, you know, like the family life. So this is just a really, really cool book. And the reason why I love this book is because, as you guys know, I do have Down syndrome, and I am just like everyone like in the world, you know, like I'm just like you. People treat me right, people treat me respectfully, people treat me fairly, and yeah, everyone is treated equally. So as I'm reading this book, it reminds me of how special that I am as a person. And it's called Children Just Like Me. So just like me, and then they are who they are. So like, it's not just learning, but you know, you can see how people live their lives differently, and that's what makes everyone unique for who they are. So so like I said, this book is not all about learning, but also it's about people and how they live their lives, you know. And I got my life, and some people may or may not have Down syndrome, but everyone is just like each other, you know. So that's why I love this book. So thank you guys for watching this video, and those are the books that I found as I was cleaning out the closet, and these are the amazing books that I'm gonna start reading. So I hope you guys have an amazing day, and peace out.